Good, because we're live.
And we're live.
Okay, I
Yeah.
wasn't sure if I did it right. I never do. But we are live once again on a Monday, and I'm here this time.
Whoa.
I can actually participate this time because I watched and did all the things necessary to be ready for today. I'm kind of sick too. I don't know if you can hear it, but
I got that shitty cough going myself.
yeah. So I'll be as
Good
lively
news
as I
is,
can.
well, since I'm in the position anyways, Jacob, would you like me to take lead on the show since I do have a voice? I will be
Sure,
happy to do that.
do
Give you
it.
a break. So, yeah, welcome to the Lonely Marks, everybody. I'll take over from here. Jacob, you give your voice a rest. Just save your breath for the reviews and stuff. But I am here, as usual, with all my good friends here on the Lonely Marks. JPO, what's going on, sir? You all right?
Not too much. You're excited to draft to ECW on the Syfy network here. I'm looking forward to seeing who gets Brendan Walker, who gets Boogeyman. I'm looking forward to all of it.
Yeah, well, we'll talk about that. Jacob, I know you're feeling a little under the weather, but you ready to participate this evening? Doing all right? Yeah.
I'm ready. I've got the draft board ready. Just basically just anyone who is on the roster.
Pretty much, because like with 17 picks apiece, we're gonna scrape the bottom of this roster.
Yes.
Like I pretty much wrote down damn near everybody that made multiple appearances on this damn show. So yeah, that's something.
Kind of feel bad for the 4 people we're gonna leave off.
Yeah, those 4 people are going to be like, what the fuck? Really? Him and
Everybody but us. Yeah, we'll see. But Richie, what's up, man? You all right? You ready for this ECW night?
Yeah,
man.
Gonna.
Yeah.
Like I mean, I chose this again. Kind of suggested it to. It was kind of suggested to me, but I went with it. And look, no one picked DJ Gabriel. He's fucking mine. He's mine.
He's not on your. He wasn't on Prez's list, was he?
No.
All right, DJ Gabriel on the board.
I didn't see him on any of my rosters that I looked at. And I saw
Taylor Croft and Armando. So you got gaps. We didn't even know.
Right.
What's his name?
Right.
DJ Gabriel. I got to add him to my list as potentials.
Right.
He was just known for just coming out and doing a 450. Pretty much, that's what he did. Yeah.
All right.
Well, I just added those two. All right. With Bam Neely right next to him. All right. So, as we've alluded to, we're doing another pseudo ECW draft. This time it's WWECW, the Syfy era, the revival that lasted a couple of years. I mean, give it credit. It lasted 4 years. I mean, 2006 to 2010. Went through a couple of people. Joey Styles didn't even last the whole time. It was down to Josh Matthews at the end, and
it became another Superstars main event. At the end.
Basically became just
almost an NXT
show. Little thing where we and also where we sent some veterans to kind of just go over there to help the younger guys. I'm sure with some of the names we'll draft tonight. But yeah, it was an interesting time period where ECW kind of came back and got a little more steam with the one night stand shows and with RVD kind of winning the world title and a little bit of that sort of an invasion angle for a little bit. And then it kind of spawned off its own show. But then, again, kind of died a slow death eventually. But yeah, we're going to talk about that. So that's what we're going to do for our draft. First things first, after the draft is over, we will do a proper ECW show with ECW Heatwave 98, sort of a quick retro review we'll do tonight that we all hopefully watched. But yeah, an actual ECW show, not a WWE ECW show. And a good reputation for being one of their better overall pay-per-views, top to bottom. So we'll talk about that when we get there. But for right now, it's time to get down to business and get this draft started. We are each going to have 17 picks. We'll try to go through this fairly quickly. It'll get really interesting once we get past the first half of this draft and see who gets drafted kind of after that, after the actual stars. But we are in the order that we spun the wheel for pre-show. I will be going first, JPO second, Jacob third, and Richie fourth, snake draft style. So when we get to Richie, he'll get a double pick and we'll swing back around. That's how it works. So is everybody ready to start drafting? Yep. All right, let's do it. All right, so I'm up first. I've got the number 1, and JPO, you stole him last time, but I'm taking him this time. Rob Van Dam, Mr. Monday Night. I'm taking RVD. You got him last time. I didn't get a chance to get him, so it's my turn. So I'm taking RVD. the
Understandable. Yeah, man. He would have been, regular ECW world champion if that continued. That's how I'm trying to almost view my ECW. Is like I'm trying to kind of feel like if this really was Paul Heyman, or at least my vision of Paul Heyman in ECW, if they kind of kept going. So like some of those bigger WWE guys that are optional that you guys might take, I have them at the very end. I kind of want to go with like the real ECW in my opinion.
Sure.
And a man that would have been ECW. He loves brownies. And I'm sure he'll be good in this locker room. CM Punk is my first pick.
Yeah.
Are we sure he'd be good in this locker room?
I don't know. I think him and Paul would get along. They got along in OVW.
Well, and there's guys like William Regal. I think would keep him in line. There's some veterans that would kind of keep him in line.
In this timeline, things work out.
2007, CM Punk was still. He was not a WWE veteran yet. He was still, cutting his teeth. Because this is really he made his debut in ECW or in WWE in ECW at the Hammerstein Ballroom, if everybody remembers, on one of their TV episodes, which was a very smart thing to do because that crowd knew who he was. So very, very smart. Anybody remember who he wrestled?
Just Incredible.
Yeah, that is correct. Just Incredible.
But shouldn't he be on the list?
I'm pretty sure he's on the list, isn't he?
He's not on your list. So Just Incredible also on the board.
I mean, we would have had him anyways. Yeah. So, all right, Jacob.
Add it to the list. I'm gonna go with a guy who I wanted last time. Pretty sure, I don't remember who if he was available. Actually, I'm tired.
Me too, but I'm trying to be in good spirits, Jacob.
Yeah.
So pep it up a little bit.
Somebody ECW on Syfy.
ECW on Syfy.
energy.
This guy should have been champion, but unfortunately, life got cut short. My first pick is going to be Chris Benoit.
Yep. All right.
Especially this time period, like Chris Benoit has always been a great wrestler, but
Yeah. But his last televised match was on an ECW on Syfy against Elijah Burke.
Against Elijah Burke.
Yeah, that's correct.
don't give away my next pick.
All righty, Richie, grab Khali. Go for it.
DJ Gabriel, first overall.
I'm gonna pick one of the last ECW champions, a guy who's he had just come back from TNA and he's really good and entertaining. I'm gonna go Christian. Cool, and I get to go again. So why don't we pick? Again, we'll probably pick another original ECW guy. I'm going to go with a guy I think got kind of treated. A lot of the original ECW guys got treated like shit, but this guy got shafted, especially in the Elimination Chamber. So I'm going to go Sabu.
All right. He's homicidal, genocidal, death-defying Sabu. All right. So Richie takes Christian, then Sabu in the second round. Jacob, back to you.
Yeah. I should have put this in an order. I didn't do that. These guys, like I'm kind of playing the Pez strategy and just kind of trying to put matches together as I'm drafting. And I don't remember these two ever having a bad match. So why not run it back? My second pick is going to be Kurt Angle.
There you go.
As soon as you said that, I was like, I was typing Kurt Angle.
Yep, Kurt Angle. He was the wrestling machine in ECW. Kind of a new gimmick with the mouthpiece and everything. But yeah, all right, it's a good pick. JPO.
Alrighty. This might potentially mess up somebody in their tag team division, but I'm going to take him as a solo act. I'm going to take Jeff Hardy.
Jeff Hardy, okay. Yep. All right, Jeff Hardy off the board.
You and I both have potential rematches.
It's true. Yeah. Gotta mark these guys on my list. Okay. I'm going to take one of my favorite big men of all time. I'm going to take Kane. Kane off of there, ECW champion. And my next one, I'm going to go with a guy who didn't last for very long, but I was always a big fan of, and I thought he had a lot of charisma. I'm going to take Marcus Corvan, a.k.a. Monty Brown. Yeah.
Monty Brown was awesome. Man.
Yeah, he was awesome. So
I
I
feel
don't
like
like the Marcus Corvon name. I prefer him to be Monty Brown, but he's still the same guy. And I always thought he had a lot of charisma and was never really used to his fullest potential. I always thought he was pretty great. So yeah.
Yeah, no, definitely. Yeah, he definitely could have been something. I think it was a personal choice that he left so early. Should have been NWA World Champ too.
Yeah, for sure.
It's ECW. I need him in my locker room to help carry the flag. Tommy Dreamer.
Yeah. Tommy Dreamer. Okay, the Innovator of Violence. And we go to tonight, who may be the Innovator of Silence, Jacob.
The Innovator.
Much like Sign Guy Dudley.
Not draftable Sign Guy Dudley. Just want to put that there.
Yeah, no,
Yes.
No managers this time.
Well, that was the other draft we did. He could have been available as a manager.
I'm gonna take. I've always enjoyed him as a wrestler, as just an on-screen figure. I'm gonna go with William Regal.
Yeah. Well, there's some options there because you don't necessarily have to have Benoit and Angle. You could have Benoit and Regal. They always had.
They would actually
awesome
be.
matches. They did shit at each other for real.
Yeah, there was one. I think we mean when I reviewed it. There was one WCW match where literally about like 10 seconds in, the camera panned away because within 10 seconds, Benoit headbutted him.
Yeah.
He broke.
I was gonna say one of their velocity matches that they had. They did their headbutting spot because they always did that just to see who got busted open first. Regal got busted open first. And to open up the wound even more, Benoit then backed him up, and instead of chopping him in the chest, chopped him in the forehead. Go watch it. It was the greatest spot I've ever seen. He chopped him right in his forehead. It was amazing. Go watch that. So, Richie.
All right.
Two picks for Richie going to Snake. What do you got?
Cool. Well, you pick JPO picked Jeff Hardy, so I will go Matt Hardy.
Matt Hardy. Okay.
Way to break up the family, Richie. Dick move.
Hey, all is fair in drafts. Matt Hardy.
Yeah.
Fine. You deal with every so.
Yeah. And my name's Fit. I'm gonna go Jack Swagger.
Jack Swagger, yeah, he started out in ECW. All right, Jake Hager, the current Jake Hager, Jack Swagger, yes.
Yeah.
All right,
unless he gets a purple hat, the dude's never been entertaining.
That's right.
Jacob.
Yeah, Jacob. All
right, back to me. I think I will go. Trying to mark these people off so I don't take anyone that's already been.
Yeah, I'm trying to do the same thing on my list, on my note app. Hit little pluses by it. All right.
I'll go with Sheamus.
Okay. Yeah, a lot of people forget he started on the ECW roster for a brief.
That's a good pick, man.
Yeah.
Even early Sheamus was.
And he's somebody that I legit think actually could have done well in ECW. You know what I mean? I think.
Yeah, which is why when I asked, that question that, if you could pick anyone from WWE, ECW to insert into your roster, Sheamus was the guy I picked.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good pick. JPO?
Kind of in the same vein as somebody that, especially at this kind of time frame, can still go. And he ended up having a really great indie run. I'm going to go Finley. Yeah. I think Finley still has a lot left in the tank at this point.
Yeah, Finley's great.
I feel like he's heralded as a guy who kind of made the women lift their game.
Yeah. He's been a long time proprietor and pushing for him and training with him. Yeah.
All right, so me for my double, I'm gonna take a guy who should have been world champion at some point, Shelton Benjamin.
Yeah.
And still working. But yeah, he did his gold standard thing here in ECW. But yeah, he should have been a champion. So I feel like he was always on that brink, in 05 or something, and just never quite got that push. When I think he should have, at least for a little bit. All right, yeah. So I'll take him, and I will also take John Morrison.
He fucked me up next.
Picking up the Miz and Morrison.
Oh, just John Morrison. You said just John Morrison, right?
Just John Morrison. I don't
Okay.
care about Miz. Fuck Miz. Somebody, one of y'all can have him. All right, JPO.
I'm gonna start with my tag teams. I'm gonna take the Hart Dynasty, Tyson Kidd and Harry Smith.
All right. I think he was DH Smith here. I think.
I own this company in this draft, so I'm gonna change that.
No, it's fine. I think he was officially booked as DH Smith here, but yeah, no, that's totally legit. Yeah, no, totally legit. Yeah. All right, Tyson Kidd, DH Smith. All right, Jacob.
Man, Tyson Kidd was I wanted him solo. I think he had a great NXT run as well.
Mm-hmm.
So now I have to pivot.
Pivot. Sorry, I can't help it.
I'll go with another big man. I would love to see what he and Sheamus can do in a one-on-one match. I'm gonna go with Test.
Okay.
Yeah, I was thinking of him.
I've always been a big fan of Test.
I like Test.
I think he's a good wrestler. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, it's a good pick, Test. Richie.
Yeah. All right. I'm also gonna go for a tag team, and I might put JPO up here if he's gonna go to tag team. I'm gonna go to the Major Brothers, Kurt Hawkins and Zack Ryder, Brian Major and whatever the other. Yeah. So wherever they went by.
All right, Kurt Hawkins, Zack Ryder. All right. Try to find them on my list here. Zack Ryder, Kurt Hawkins. Okay. All right, and what else?
And I'm going to go for a guy who could also have been ECW champion. I think he could have been TNA champion back then. He had a really good push, and I loved him when he had a push in TNA. I'm going to go Elijah Burke. I loved him as a poke.
Yeah.
I thought he was really good.
Okay.
So, Elijah Burke.
Good one. Another one you started talking, I was like, Elijah Burke before you even said
Was he the Pope?
Yeah, it's a pope.
So I did a bunch of shows in Jacksonville with him, actually, in Florida. He lives in Jacksonville, Florida, and he would stop by our shows a lot, and he worked one or two of them as well. So
he's still working.
He's still working. So he's in good shape. So yeah. All right, Jacob, back to you.
And you did just say just Burke, not Burke and Sylvester Sir
Yeah, just Elijah Burke.
Just making sure.
Yeah.
Okay. I wouldn't want to take that from you.
I don't even know if I'm going to draft any tag teams, to be honest. We'll see.
Oh, boring card.
Well, there weren't that many tag teams, really. But
I wrote down 8, so everyone can have tag teams if they want it. Oh, no, that's not true because people are fucking it up with taking singles.
Yeah. So I'm probably going to end up having nothing but singles and maybe a multi-man or something. All right, Jacob.
Jacob, don't fuck me up.
Well, who are you thinking about taking?
Hold on, let me scroll down. Big Daddy V. Go for it.
Okay, I'm picking not Big Daddy V.
What?
Nice try. I'm gonna go with another just hard hitting guy. I think really fits. He could have been. I think early ECW as well. I'm gonna go with Hardcore Holly.
Okay.
He has some bangers with RPD.
That one where he cut his back open completely.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was an infamous. That's on the. There's an ECW DVD I have. It's like the best of WWE ECW or whatever, Bloodlust or something, and that match is on there because his back blood all over the place.
Yeah, that moment is part of the when they used to have the do not try this at home.
Yeah, right. Showing that camera shot of just that complete gash across his back. Yeah, no, that's gnarly. Yeah,
don't do this at home. Don't be like Bob.
All right, JPO.
All right, so for my second tag team here, I mentioned it in the chat, and I'm being legitimate now. I'm gonna go for the Dude Busters, Trent Beretta and Kalen Croft. Kind of remind me of like a young or another version of like Matthews in York. I think they actually could have done really good.
Yeah. I'd forgotten Trent Barretta was there until I kind of started putting the rosters together. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Just very brief, but he was there. Yeah. All right. Okay. All right. So it's funny you joked about it, but I've always been a big fan of Viscera. I like him, so I will draft Big Daddy V. I like Viscera a lot. I think he's kind of underrated in some ways. I mean, the motherfucker did a Cabo kick. He's the only one besides Loki to ever do that. So, I'll give him credit. Just because I need another big guy. And I'll get kind of a big guy, but a big guy who can really move and who looks the same and is still in amazing shape. Bobby Lashley.
I was thinking, I knew that's where you're going, but damn it.
Yeah. Who hasn't aged and still looks exactly the goddamn same almost 20 years later. Yeah, it's kind of
arguably a better wrestler than he was back then.
Yeah, but he had a lot of fire back then. He moved around the ring and like people would have to tell him to slow down. He was always running all over the place and doing crazy stuff and jumping into cages and all kinds of stuff. So yeah. All right, those are mine. JP, back to you.
Did you guys hear that? I hear voices in my head. They called him in. Randy Orton is who I'm gonna take here.
Yeah. I put him on the list because he technically made 4 appearances, so that makes him eligible.
Okay.
I found this one list where it was like people you forgot were on ECW, but each one the article had how many matches they actually had. Randy Orton had 4. He had 4. So we said 3 or more counts. So just to let you guys know, the Undertaker does not count. 2 matches is not enough. So
no Shawn Michaels, no Ric Flair.
Yeah, no DX. Yeah, none of that. So one match apiece. All right, Jacob. But yes, Randy Orton was eligible.
Still quite a few good guys on the list. I will take a former champion. And we're gonna try to forget the way he lost the title at WrestleMania. I'm taking Chavo Guerrero.
Nice. To my champion. Yeah, that was crazy. All right, Richie, you're 7 and 8.
And to make the title feel even worthless, he was even more worthless. He was in the Royal Rumble as ECW champion.
Yeah.
Anyway, my next pick. It's time for the main event. I'm choosing Mark Henry.
Okay.
Yep.
Like Vader's on a fucking ECW.
And
who?
I remember him, because it was at the start
Mark Henry.
Yeah, Mark Henry. And the next one, I remember him getting a lot of grief because at the start of when people realized ECW wasn't going to be what the ECW that they loved, and this guy got a lot of grief for being the kind of the centerpiece of this. So, and he was not in the best shape. I'm gonna go Big Show.
Oh, you can have all these big past their prime guys. ECW fans would be shitting on both of them.
They did. Remember that Batista Big Show match on TV?
That's what I'm saying, man.
The channel. Yeah.
I'm viewing this like ECW is still alive and we're touring the ECW arena.
I'm just looking at who I got and trying to put together a show. That's all. I don't have a lot of continuity on this one. Like my other one, my actual ECW one, I was trying to put together like a legitimate show, and this one's like whatever. I'm just drafting people. So we'll see. All right, Jacob.
Real for you, Paul.
All right, number 8.
I'm gonna go with another guy that was there in the beginning.
That's what we're doing, Jacob. Yeah, that is true.
No, in the original. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Jeez. You know what?
Sorry.
He doesn't need to be here for this pick. I'm going with Stevie Richards.
Okay.
Yeah, fair enough.
All
right. Now, please just come back in the right spot.
Nope.
No, that's why that joke's never worth it. Because then.
Oh my goodness! Shut.
You gotta do it all over again. All right. Well, now you have to keep him on screen because it's his turn, Jacob. So
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I can make all the shitty jokes I want. No, please don't take me off. Please don't take me off.
No, you can't.
Stand back. There's a Gregory Helms coming through.
I was gonna say
Helms.
he's a Gregory Helms coming through on this one. I think
That's
he
what
did.
I want.
I think he whipped out the hurricane thing near the end, though.
He did, yeah. I probably, I could definitely say him, but
He was Gregory, and then he went back to the
purposely
hurricane for like a
gonna
couple
stick.
shows.
Yeah.
It's
like a darker hurricane. He's got like really dark hair, but yeah, I'm sticking with Gregory Helms.
Yeah,
That's actually who I
Gregory
want.
Helms. Yeah,
Even if I
definitely.
could.
I gotcha. All right. So my first of two, I will take Super Crazy.
He's
What is
super. He's crazy.
Uh-huh.
He's super crazy.
Super crazy. And I'll go and grab another high flying guy. I'll take Evan Bourne.
God damn it.
Ooh, I'm thinking about it. Should have done it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So,
Yeah. The former Matt Seidel, Evan Bourne. All right. Who had his run cut short. He was just very injury prone. So, yeah. Unfortunate situation.
whatever happened to where's his brother? You know, Mike. Is it Mike Seidel? You know,
Oh yeah, I guess they stopped using Mike or he got hurt. I have no idea.
Anyway.
I don't know. All right, JPO, back to you.
Who is that?
It's Cody. Cody Rhodes is who I want.
Yeah. Early Cody Rhodes here. Yep.
Maybe he can do some stuff with his father.
Mhm.
Oh, he's not eligible to be drafted.
If this company kept going.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. All right, Jacob.
I am going to go with the winner of the WrestleMania 26 pre-show battle royal. I'm going with Yoshitatsu.
I could have sworn we wouldn't get to Tatsu till like pick number 13.
Oh, I love Yoshitatsu.
All right. He had the most generic, shitty music. I was watching some Royal Rumble the other day. Like I was like, that is such horrible music. Like I would.
We'll get to it, but it made me when Hayabusa came out. It made me think every Japanese person has the same fucking music. Anyway.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's just variations of like flutes and shit. Anyway, anyway, I can't believe Yoshitatsu went before this dude. My next pick is Kofi Kingston.
Okay, yeah. Well, Jamaican accent Kofi Kingston.
Oh yeah. I mean,
yeah. Which we later on learned was all a lie.
It was all a lie.
You got to take the good with the bad.
Yeah.
All
right. Yeah. Boom.
And I'll take this guy because he's really good. I'm gonna take Goldust.
All right. Yeah. All right. Goldust. Yep.
Dude, you broke up Goldust and Yoshitatsu? God, you're a homewrecker.
Yeah.
Yep. Sure did. Jacob.
Yeah, I was gonna draft him next, just in case I could have the possibility of keeping them as singles wrestlers. Call you Dickie. That was a terrible joke. I'm sorry.
Is that edited in post?
Yeah, we'll edit that out.
Cut that part out.
We'll cut that. You know what? There is another original on here that has still not been drafted, so I'll take him. I'm gonna go with Sandman.
There's a couple originals. I don't want to put any ideas in people's heads.
No, there's still a few on there. I think it's fairly obvious. Yeah. All right, JPO.
Let me see. Here. I am gonna go with. I want him. Do I want him? I don't know if I want him. Hold on, let me go back.
The suspense is killing me.
Yeah, I feel like we're kind of getting there now, where it's like some interesting picks left.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go. Actually, this is who I want. I want Vance Archer.
Vance Archer. Okay.
Not Lance Hoyt.
Vance Archer.
I legitimately did not know that was the same person.
Oh yeah.
I didn't know Lance Hoyt, Lance Archer was all the same person.
Yeah.
I did not know that. So
Again, he's another guy. I feel like he's another guy like Bobby Lashley, who's he's become a better wrestler when he's gotten older.
Well, yeah, it's called experience.
I know, but like he's in his 40s. You think he should not be a good wrestler? He should be winding down.
He's finally catching on. He returned at Rampage. I saw him live. Still saying everybody dies. Promo hasn't changed.
Yeah, well, I feel like he returned because he did a tweet the other day saying, "Yeah, like I haven't been on TV for 5 months. No, I'm not injured."
And I was still doing stuff like New Japan Strong, and I was happy to see Jake the Snake live. That was cool.
Yeah. All right. I'm gonna take for my first of two a guy who just got saddled with a goofy gimmick, but he's a really good British wrestler. I have a best of DVD of him from his British days. I'm gonna take Paul Burchill.
Yeah, I like Paul Burchill. And so, I mean, I don't know about the
pirate gimmick was stupid, but like, I mean,
no, I was going to say the didn't he have like a incest gimmick as well?
Yeah, him and his sister. Yeah, Katie Burchill. Yeah, it was really stupid, but like it's a shame because like I have a DVD of him from the mid 2000s, like of just him wrestling legit, like including guys like Samoa Joe, and he's really fucking good.
Yeah.
Like he's a great wrestler. So like he will not have a silly gimmick on my on my card. Yeah, I like the guy. All right. I will take him, and then I will take I'll take Jimmy Wang Yang.
Yeah. Is that just so you can get on his party bus sometimes?
I don't know.
He drives a party bus.
I like Jimmy Yang. I don't know.
You get cheated, Pez. You cheated. He was not on your list.
I saw him last minute. Oh well.
Oh, you should. Every time I saw someone last minute, I told the group you were holding out on us. Jimmy Wang Yang.
I know. I was holding out on the guy I drafted 11th.
Bad.
My bad.
Jimmy Wang Yang's a guy who could be on a lot of he could be on. He's one of those rare guys who could be on a WCW list. He could be on a TNA list. He could be on an ECW.
Yeah.
He could be on every race. Yeah.
You took him 11th. He could have been a 9th round pick.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
He would have been a strong one. JPO.
Okay, let's stick with an ECW original. I want Balls Mahoney.
Balls.
That was the other one I was thinking. I was between him and Sandman.
All right. Balls Mahoney to JPO and Jacob.
I will take. Give me Nunzio.
Yeah. A former Little Guido. Yep. He was a really underrated wrestler. Really good seller. Really good
actually, probably a few months ago, he showed up on Impact with Tony Armalik.
True story. Richie told that story multiple times.
Well,
I haven't heard it, Richie, so it's fine.
Not on this show.
Shut up. I haven't heard that.
You heard it.
Shut up. Yeah. All right, no wonder you're a buddy, Mark. Anyway, cool. Anyway, my pick. Focus on me. My pick. There's still ECW originals left, and I thought this guy's really underrated, and it's a shame. I feel like he would have gone on to bigger things had ECW not closed. I'm going to go Danny Doring.
All right.
Again, no one mentioned him for the list. You cheaters.
I legit thought he only made like 2 appearances on the first 2 shows, and then he disappeared. I'm
gonna fact check that.
I guess he was on the house shows like CW Anderson. Maybe he was on the house shows.
Yeah, but I took CW off because y'all told me not to.
I kept CW on.
I mean, I thought you had overruled me on that, but I thought he only made 1 TV appearance, and I thought it was based on TV appearances.
He can have him. Mike Knox destroyed him. Rob Van Dam fought him. CM Punk fought him. He was in a battle royal. So
okay, cool.
Again, not being fair to the group, Richie, but that's fine. I guess I was the only one that was being fair.
All right, I'll hand Danny Doring. I'm gonna have Danny Doring. All right, I'm gonna hand Danny Doring. Fine.
Yeah.
And then my next one, guy I think is a bit underrated. Pretty good cruiserweight, and was decent in TNA as part of Inc. I'm going to Shannon Moore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Remember those like promos they tried to do to hype him up with like the mohawk and him just like standing in alleys and shit like that?
Yeah.
The action figure I had of him.
I'm just like standing there. Yeah. I was like, all right.
Yaga Barber.
I was like, is it an upgrade from being Matt Hardy's lackey? I don't know. Maybe.
Yeah, and then he ran around with a book called the Book of Dillygaff.
Yeah.
Yeah. Does it look like I give a fuck?
I liked his WWE music though when he was with Matt Hardy though. I thought his music was really good.
And I liked how Taz kept calling him Banana Juice Boy.
Nice. All right, Jacob, you're number 12.
Yep. And I just have one question. What does everybody want?
Ahead.
Al Snow.
I'll head, yeah, that's what I want.
Yeah. All right, Al Snow, JPO.
Alrighty. I can't believe he's still here. I'm gonna go ahead and pick kind of a heavy hitter here. Colin Delaney.
Oh, damn. Oh, legitimately, you just killed a plan I was going to have for my next two picks.
Yes.
I had a plan for a match. So maybe I can find somebody. Maybe I'll find somebody else I can fill this spot. I'm sure there's somebody on here. All right. Okay. All right. I know not everybody likes him. I don't know. I had a fascination with him. I think he has an interesting look. I think he has some charisma despite not being the best worker. I'll take Snitsky.
Not my fault.
That Not My Fault music, his original music, is a banger theme song. It wasn't my fault. That was a great theme song. I loved it. Yeah, I didn't like his piano music later. I thought that was a downgrade. All right, so I'll take that, and fuck it. I like the guy too. Again, I like his look. I think he has some charisma. You know, not the greatest work in the world, but I'll find a spot for him on the card. I'll take Ezekiel Jackson.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right. Maybe his best days were behind him of being Brian Kendrick's bodyguard, but you know, is what it is.
Jesus, if that's your pinnacle, then
I don't know. If you're talking about music, the Brian Kendrick's music was awesome. That's such an earworm.
His music
to play.
Yeah, Ezekiel Jackson's music was good. The Domination song was good.
Oh yeah, because it's just a retake of an old song
It was a
the Deadly Game song.
It was the Bart Gunn Brawl for All music.
The Brawl for All music, and then
it was a remix of that. Yeah. No, but it was a good song.
What you call domination? It's a domination.
Yeah, that was good stuff. Yeah. So, all right, JPO.
So even though he did call me Tubby on the microphone in front of a crowd, I learned to forgive because he's my favorite teacher, your favorite teacher, Matt Striker.
He always has a fun fact ready to go.
Yeah, and I just remember the days where he was on commentary, and you could tell he would annoy when I was on Raw, and he would annoy the fuck out of Jerry King Lawler. You could tell he hated it.
Jerry Lawler hated him. hated him. Yes. All right, Jacob. Is it time to draft the Great Khali yet, or are you gonna hold off on that?
I'm gonna hold off on that and instead
All
take
right.
another big man in Mike Knox.
Okay. He always had a good look. That big beard and stuff. Always had a good look.
Yeah, and if Kelly can come with him, that's.
I guess him and Tess was a decent tag team.
Yeah.
Yeah, for what they were. Which technically Jacob could do. He's got both Test and Knox on his roster. So yeah, they were a tag team. Richie?
Yeah, take Mama Luke.
Look, me. This guy did virtually nothing. You know, would go on to do bigger things. He did virtually nothing in ECW, but you know, I'll use him. I'll take Gavin Spears, aka Sean Spears.
Yeah,
Damn.
there you go. Yep,
That's my next roundup.
Yep, Gavin Spears. Sean Spears, yep.
And we decided what we're going to do about managers or anything like that? I don't know.
I mean, you can use a pick on that if you want to. Like, I'm not gonna veto that.
I don't know. Nah, I'll just use this guy.
I might just to fill out my roster, so I don't have to draft any more wrestlers. Let's just put it that way.
No,
So,
just fill out the roster. I'm not like, I'm not. Yeah, like I've criticized this guy, but he's entertaining, and I'll find a spot for him. My next pick, I'll go the Miz.
okay. All right, Jacob, number 14.
All right. Oh, slim pickings. Between two. I'll take Tony Mama Luke.
Okay. Yep. So Mama Luke. I'm surprised they let him keep his name. Can't have little Guido. We can have Tony Mama Luke.
Yeah.
JPO.
I'm gonna take Davari.
I considered him. Davari. Yep. Okay. I'm just gonna burn off two of my picks here, kind of. Because I'll still have enough for like 8 matches, like singles matches, with the people I have right now. I'll take Kevin Thorne, and then my other pick will just be Ariel to come out with him. So there you go. That's 14 and 15.
Fair enough.
Yeah. All right.
All right. Former world champ. Wait a minute. Yeah. Former world. Former. Oh, I put your spots and my spots on my doc. Hold on. Bro, I got confused. Just incredible. I want.
God damn it. Because you hesitated a couple of times, I'm like, I know what he's going to do. I know what he's going to do. So I'm like, I was prepared for it. Wait, for what? No. Maybe he's changing his mind.
Yeah. All right, Jacob, number 15.
Yeah. So funny enough, the two guys I was between. The other one is still here. I'm gonna take the Boogeyman.
Okay.
Coming to get you.
How old is he, guys?
40.
He's 30.
30.
30.
30.
30. 40. 30. 40.
30.
I have your ID. 30.
So you just lied to me.
But we'll give you a contract anyway.
We don't like liars.
We don't like liars. It's the one thing we don't like. Psst, come over here.
Come over here and sign this contract.
The best thing you ever did was lie just now.
Yeah.
Sign this contract, then we'll sign a Legends. You'll sign a Legends contract later on, and you'll probably in the Hall of Fame.
Hey, you know what? Top 10 WF alumni. This is funny enough.
Yeah. All right, Richie. He's 15 and 16 coming up.
Okay. Man, we are scraping the bottom of that right now.
Yeah.
You know what? Fun spot for him. Hornswoggle.
All right.
I almost did it with a striker. I was like, oh, that might be a fun match.
You can just have him like be out there for some other match, running around under the ring
That
or
was
something.
me, so
Yeah. Do something. Just have him come out and like annoy the Miz or something, like just whatever.
Yeah. And why not? I'll go Rene Dupree.
Rene Dupree. Okay.
My next pick.
All right, Rene Dupree and Hornswoggle for Richie. He's got one more pick, which will be in just a little bit. Jacob, your penultimate pick of number 16.
Yeah. I'm gonna go with.
Literally everybody on my first 2 pages is gone now. I'm on page 3 and 4.
I'll go with Sylvain Grenier.
Okay. Wasn't he like a fashion consultant or something?
He changed on when they got split up. He went on SmackDown and he was like a fashion dude.
Yeah.
And he was
basically like Fandango and Tyler Breeze before them, essentially.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of. All right, JPO.
I'm gonna split up a tag team here, because I'm only gonna take one of them for singles. Doug Basham
Okay.
actually had quite potential in OVW and just one of those guys that like a lot of OVW guys just didn't necessarily get a look at.
That's where the "thank you, fuck you, bye" story from Jim Cornette comes from. It relates to Doug Basham when they made him shave his head at a SmackDown tape for a dark match, and he came back and he's like, "Hey, John Laurinaitis, if you wanted me to shave a guy's head, I could have at least made some fucking money off it, done a hair versus hair match. Like, thank you, fuck you, bye."
Thank you, fuck you, bye.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I do with Doug Basham. All right, so oh boy. All right, one of mine. I'll just take Kelly and put her with somebody.
Jesus.
You know
just have her do that extreme expose.
Yeah, she can just do like a strip tease for 2 minutes in between matches. So I'll take that. I've seen her at several conventions, by the way. She's still doing stuff like that. And then I'll take Vladimir Kozlov. He at least had a good look. I was rewatching a Royal Rumble, and he comes out and has like a one-on-one with Triple H. It was the oddest thing. It's just strange. Yeah, there you go, JPO. That was my number 17, by the way. So I am done.
Who's your 16?
Kelly.
Kelly.
Vladimir Kozlov.
I'm gonna take James Curtis.
AKA Casey James.
Yes.
Yeah.
Another guy that actually did have potential.
Mm-hmm. Was he part of the teacher's pets with Aaron Stevens?
Yes, that's Casey James. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, Jacob, your final pick, and then Richie's final pick.
Yep. I'm gonna go with this guy just because he had wonderful hair. I'm gonna go with Ricky Ortiz.
So, fun fact: my good buddy John Davis, Florida wrestler extraordinaire, his one match in WWE, a televised match against Ricky Ortiz. And he told me the story about having a match with him. How he wanted to go over the match like 17 times in the back, and it was all like a 2-minute match. It was like John Davis clubs him on the back a couple of times. Ortiz like breaks off, hits him with like 2 moves, and then did a splash to like finish him. And he was like, at first JD was like, "Oh, it was like a top rope splash." And he's like, "No, I just like come off the ropes with like a splash." And he was like, "That's your finish? All right." Because that literally was his finish. He just like did this big extension and just like a standing splash. It's kind of weird. So,
okay.
Yeah, that was the whole match. I've seen it. It's online. All right, Richie, finish it off. He's on the board still. I guess nobody's going to take him. We'll take Ricky Ortiz, but we won't take a former world champion.
Yeah. I'll just say I don't have any women, but I guess I can find her. Yeah, she's really good, and I'll find a spot for her. Maybe I'll just bring other people in from the other brands. So I'm going to take Natalia.
Okay. All right.
She was at EC. Yes, she was.
Yes, she was. Yes, she was.
You're looking at me suspicious.
No, she was. I saw that somewhere. Just whatever. Yeah. All right. Well, that will do it. The people left on the board, at least as far as I can tell, the Great Khali, of course.
Oh shit! She had 3 matches.
Yeah. She did. So former world champion, the Great Khali.
You don't got shit for her to do. Like, what is she gonna do?
I don't know. She be the general manager.
She can fight Hornswoggle. She can fight Hornswoggle.
She can't be any worse than Tiffany was.
Yeah.
At least Tiffany's got a shtick. That's Italian.
The way she read, I used to love listen to Brian Finney when Tiffany was the ECW man. There's just the way they'd rag on her. And the way she'd deliver her lines.
So yeah, Great Khali is still on the board. Sylvester Terkay is still on the board. Tyler Rex, who's a woman now, still on the board. Bam Neely still on the board. Braden Walker infamously still on the board.
Yeah, I thought you said you had something. You might have something for him, JP.
If I had to, but I didn't get there.
Nobody took DJ Gabriel, so he's still on the board. The other Basham, I guess, is still on the board because he only took the Doug. Armando Estrada and Vince McMahon was an ECW champion, so technically on the board.
When I was asking about managers, I was thinking of Armando Estrada because I found him entertaining.
Yeah, so let's
former world
take it, not Natalia. So kudos for no one picking Vince or Greg Khali.
Yeah, we'd rather pick
Ricky
Ortiz than Greg Khali.
Because Ricky Ortiz has more talent than Greg Khali.
And better hair.
Yeah.
Also, Ricky Ortiz is married to another person we didn't pick, Layla.
Yeah.
I just there wasn't any women on the list that actually wrestled. I don't want them just to be there.
Yeah, because there was just extreme expose where they just got Kelly, Brooke Adams, who's like Miss Tessmock,
Yeah, well, at least Ariel was a legit valet and came out with Kevin Thorne every match. Like at least
you got something to do. Unlike Natalia, who's just gonna be sending out guys.
She's like, I'm looking at like legit,
Well, speaking of that, let me just do a quick recap before we go to Heatwave 98. Richie, all of his picks: Christian, Sabu, Matt Hardy, Jack Swagger, Hawkins and Ryder, Elijah Burke, Mark Henry, Big Show, Kofi Kingston, Goldust, Danny Doring, Shannon Moore, Gavin Spears, The Miz, Hornswoggle, Rene Dupree, and Natalia. Jacob Barber took Chris Benoit, Kurt Angle, William Regal, Sheamus, Test, Hardcore Holly, Chavo Guerrero, Stevie Richards, Yoshi Tatsu, Sandman, Nunzio, Al Snow, Mike Knox, Tony Mamaluke, The Boogeyman, Sylvain Grenier, and Ricky Ortiz. JPO takes CM Punk, Jeff Hardy, Tommy Dreamer, Finley, the tag team of Tyson Kidd and D.H. Smith, Trent Beretta, and what was that guy's name? Croft? What was his first name? Kalen Croft. Yeah. Kalen Croft, Randy Orton, Gregory Helms, Cody Rhodes, Vance Archer, Balls Mahoney, Colin Delaney, Matt Stryker, Davari, Justin Credible, Doug Basham, and James Curtis. And I took RVD, Kane, Marcus Corvon, Shelton Benjamin, John Morrison, Big Daddy V, Bobby Lashley, Super Crazy, Evan Bourne, Paul Burchill, Jimmy Wang Yang, Snitsky, Ezekiel Jackson, Kevin Thorne, Ariel, Kelly, and Vladimir Kozlov. So, yeah, we scraped pretty much the entire roster. Congratulations, everybody. That's damn near just about everybody that appeared on WWE ECW. So there you go. All right. Well, that was certainly interesting to see who we were going to take and who we were going to leave. So, all right. Well,
and next week, Dream ECW on Syfy card.
No. Yeah,
that's what we did this for. That's what we do. We draft and then we do a card. That's what we do.
Cool. Well, you guys can do that. I'm not going to be here, so have fun with that.
The OGs next week.
Yeah. Well, I think y'all are going to do an NXT draft next week, so that would be a more card. That would be a more fun card to put together, but yes. So, yeah, we're going to go to our retro review, kind of our second half of the show here. Back to some legitimate ECW. Heatwave 1998, August 2nd, 1998, from Dayton, Ohio. We have Joey Styles on commentary, along with Shane Douglas and Francine. Shane Douglas, who was okay when he talked. He didn't have a ton to say.
He didn't really say a lot.
Yeah, he didn't say a lot, and Francine said nothing. So
I think loosely saying she's on commentary is a little much.
She was there with a headset on, but yeah.
She said like a little bit like at the start, which because she said like hardly anything, it threw me when she did say stuff. I'm like, oh, she said that's right. Like she said like one line, I think.
Yeah, she was mostly there for when they cut away back to the Joey Styles and Shane Douglas, just to be there with their cleavage out, essentially. Yeah. That was her primary purpose of the show. But yeah, I mean, Shane Douglas wasn't bad when he talked, but I still prefer sort of the 99 to 2001 period when it was Joey Styles and Cyrus, Don Callis. I think they had when he had a partner, I think that was kind of the best chemistry, best color guy he ever had. So yeah, I kind of wish Cyrus was on the show, would have made the commentary just a tad better, or either that or just have Joey do it solo. But yeah, still not bad. decent enough heel announcer. But yeah, Dayton, Ohio, Heatwave 98, a solid card top to bottom. And we opened with our opening match of Just Incredible versus Jerry Lynn. Just Incredible, accompanied by a gaggle of people, including Chastity, Nicole Bass, and Jason Knight, the sexiest man on earth. Just a whole host of people. But yeah, a really, really solid opener. I forgot these guys had matches occasionally other than in sort of a tag team format. But yeah, singles match here. Just a couple of quick highlights, and I'll go to you guys for your thoughts. We had some really good chain wrestling up front. Kind of the match really picked up when Jerry Lynn did a hurricanrana through a table on the outside from the top turnbuckle to the outside, which looked really dangerous. And it looked really crazy. The kind of finish kind of started off with a bunch of interference, but included Jerry Lynn low blowing Nicole Bass and her selling it as a low blow.
And Joey Styles goes, a punch to the nuts. Yes.
Yeah.
What else? I said it.
Yeah. I did that. Jerry Lynn gave a tombstone to Chastity. Then after all that, Just Incredible regained the advantage and hit a top rope. That's incredible. A top rope tombstone pile driver, which looked really great and crowd pop for. So overall, pretty solid match. JPO probably has the times. I didn't write down the times. I think it was something like
I don't have the time.
Okay, I'll look it up in a minute, but I think it was something like 9 minutes or 10 minutes, something like that. Not too long. What are you guys' thoughts, JPO? Start with you.
Yeah, no, as you said from your first line, a gaggle of people here. My first note is, why so much entourage? And why, and also random as shit, it feels like two female valets, if you count Bass. Two female valets plus Jason. It feels very random too. Like, it really feels like if Paul Heyman was bouncing checks, I know. Cut these unnecessary entourage people. I don't know what you're paying them, but probably too much. Reminds me of AEW sometimes, especially not so much recently, but there's been times where there's like 12 Dark Order members, and you're like, are all of them getting paid just to be here? Like, 2 of them are wrestling. I dug this, man. These two have fought a lot. I was actually just like looking it up. I mean, several ECW matches here, as well as they would later on meet in TNA. They had a series of matches in TNA that I dug here. As well as Hardcore Homecoming. They wrestled on like that first one, as well as one of the touring shows when it toured for a little bit here. So not a surprise knowing like their later matches that this one would be pretty good here. The first two, as well as the next when the Candido match coming soon, I thought I don't know if they both needed like the cheating. That kind of like I thought was too similar. Right. I wish one of them, because they're both, again, Candido and Storm, just like this, they're really good wrestlers. I kind of wish one of them would have just been a little more straightforward. I've always been a little confused too about the ECW DQ.
There's no. That's the thing with ECW is weird. They would have referees trying to enforce rules, but there's really no rules. So yeah, it's very straight. Like every match is pretty much.
They would hide like outside interference, but then they would also use weapons. Like what?
Yeah, they would do like there was a lot of spots in this match where Chastity would like get up on the ropes to distract John Finnegan when there's really no need to because there's
why are you distracting him when I feel like you could probably get away with it based on other things?
Yeah, so. I don't know. Always weird. Like Cornette has like criticized stuff. He's like, when you don't have any rules to break, then there's no rules. Like I just it's
you're
really
doing the typical distraction thing, even though it feels like it's unnecessary. So that's always been weird. But yeah, awesome finisher. Awesome, that tombstone looked pretty sick. So
yeah, definitely. Jacob, what do you think about this? I know you're kind of a little newer to ECW, so this is this your first ECW pay-per-view you watched start to finish, or have you seen
it? Pretty much. I've seen matches here and there, but never a full show. And yeah, this was a solid opener. I liked when it was just Incredible and Jerry Lynn. I really dug it. All the interference stuff, I was like, I felt like there was a little too much of it.
14:35, by the way.
Yeah. 14:35.
But yeah, no, it was great in-ring action and that finish. Yeah, it was that move looked really good. I'm looking forward to going back and since Jordan said these two have met a lot, going back and checking out some of their other matches because this was a really solid opener.
Yeah, Richie.
Yeah, sometimes I feel like sometimes perception's reality. Sometimes because I don't know. I didn't never really rated Justin Credible much as a wrestler, but then you go back and watch ECW, like, oh no, he's actually a pretty good wrestler. So
Yeah,
it's like,
I almost drafted him a lot sooner, but then I was like, oh, this is like 2007. But yeah, there's a time period where Credible's kind of killing it.
yeah, but like just because he was treated like kind of like shit in WWE, and he was at he was perceived at a certain level. You're like, yeah, he's not that great. And even like Jerry Lynn, like Jerry Lynn's, he had decent, he had matches in WCW, but in WWE he wasn't treated that well. So yeah, but you forget these two can go, and then it was it's a really good match here, and it was the distractions got a lot, and Joey Styles was quite on Nicole Bass going with whatever she is. I think this was like where Nicole Bass started. I think she was trained by ECW, like the ECW system or whatever, and then she would get signed away to the WWE later on for a bit.
I think it was later this year because she started doing the stuff with Val Venus not long after this, like the kind of running out there and kind of stalking him, wanting to have sex with him. That was the whole storyline, that she was stalking him to have sex with him. I'm not making that up. That was the storyline.
Yeah, and then like she'd be aligned with like a heel stable or something later on. But yeah, and then it's weird. Like the refs in ECW look like they work at a bowling alley. they look like bowling alley attendants, just like the red and and they look.
It must not have been too far along or later. And Nicole Bass didn't have a lot of matches, but she's wrestling by 99 in WWF. So
yeah. So yeah, I mean, and you could tell like Vince, even though like Vince would look like, oh, I'm muscly.
Zero ECW matches, by the way. Never had a match.
Right.
Yeah. I don't know if she had many matches. Does she have many matches in WWF? I don't think she did.
No, like 4. I just looked it up. Literally 1, a 2, a 3, a 4. Done.
Yeah. And then she was like done. Yeah. I think she had a lot of like
and it's a minute, 12 seconds, 27 seconds, and there was a 6-minute match. Good for her.
Yeah. So no, but this match was really solid. It was good. Good. Good opener to open up the car. No. It was really good. And that I guess it's a corkscrew. They called it. Joey Styles called it a corkscrew tombstone, but I guess the tombstone is just a normal tombstone. But they still look pretty cool. I forget that. Because I didn't watch much ECW, but I like back then. That I forget it wasn't just Undertaker and Kane that were doing tombstones. It was like other people. But I like in AEW, like a lot of people do tombstones, but back then I just thought Undertaker and Kane were doing tombstones. But so it's cool.
Surprisingly, I'm sure they told Justin to quit that shit when he went back.
Yeah. So
funny enough too, looking them up, they also wrestled on Jacked. So these two can say they wrestled in TNA, WWF, and ECW.
Yeah.
Who went over in that Jacked match? Because they were both kind of jobbers in WWE.
Lynn, funny enough.
Well, Lynn won the light heavyweight title in his first match.
And then they completely forgot about him afterwards.
Lynn was the master of like Sunday Night Heat and Jacked for a minute.
Yeah, he was.
Because they even made fun of it because he beat Crash Holly on the Heat on before Backlash, and then Judgment Day he was at WWF New York, and they were like, oh, and then they did a segment where he whinged about it.
Yeah, just so weird how they just bury people immediately. Yeah, it's always really strange. Yeah, he's a good worker, but I feel like his glory days were kind of in in ACW, and then I think early TNA.
Early TNA was really good.
Yeah, he had really 2003. He had good matches. Really nice guy too. By the way. Yeah, no, I've met the guy at a couple of Ring of Honor shows. Really, really humble, nice dude.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I did a seminar with him and Mikey Whipwreck. Yeah, it was great.
Yeah, super great guy. And we kind of went into a match that was kind of similar. Match number 2 was Lance Storm versus Chris Candido, former tag team partners colliding here. Very similar with Tammy Sitch out there, kind of running distractions, but again, non-necessary distractions because. So what if you kind of low blow? Yeah. There was low blows. There was cheating.
In fact. I'm trying to remember if it's the first or second match. There's low blow right in front of the ref.
They do it all the time. It doesn't matter.
It is the Lynn one. I remember it's credible. Yeah, right in front of him.
But much like the first match, some really good just chain wrestling. You could tell these guys, knew each other very well. Everything looked great. Flowed really well. And the match kind of picked up when Storm gave a suplex from the inside to the outside on Candido, and Candido landed on his back on the concrete. That looked gross.
That looked like it sucked.
Yeah, that looked like it really, really sucked. Him landing on his ass on the concrete. That really, really sucked. And the kind of finish started with a sequence where Tammy got in the ring. There was a mix-up with the referee, and the referee ran into her and ripped her top off. And she held her, which was trying to hold her the top of her thing off till she got to the outside, and one of the security guards put a coat over her.
It was met with a chorus of boos.
For us not seeing her boobs on pay-per-view. But yeah, and also had a pretty sick top rope finisher when Chris Candido hit the bombshell, which is just kind of a super bomb off the top rope. It would look pretty sick as well, hitting on Lance Storm. So another big top rope finisher. And this was, a very, very similar match to the first match, but not necessarily bad, just like two very similar matches back to back. It just kind of felt weird because the very, very same matches with a little cheating, top rope finishers, a little bit of outside interference here and there. But still good stuff. Jacob, what'd you think about this one?
Yeah, the kind of that. It's very similar to the opener, which I'm not saying is a bad thing, but it's like cool. We just saw it, and now it's like who did it better? I think Lance Storm is a really good in-ring worker. I don't really have the same thoughts about Chris Candido because I just haven't seen a lot of him, but it was nice to be able to go back and watch a really good Lance Storm match because I think he's super talented.
Mm-hmm.
But very similar to the first match, and it's like, all right, more interference. Like I don't mind it if it's necessary and it works, but like in ECW, like
everybody just does it. So
it's like what's the point? And then having it back to back. Like if this was lowered higher up on the card, then cool. But it's like a back to back. Like but that it doesn't take away from like how good the in ring stuff was.
Yeah, totally. Richie.
Very like personal thoughts. Very similar match. I found it funny that I think when Lance Storm came out, Joe Styles goes, Lance Storm showing a lot of personality lately, which
would be the infamous Steve Austin no personality thing.
The antithesis of his career, where he'd be boring, and it's like it's just, like it's just. I feel like it's unfair to kind of tag him with that because he's actually pretty funny guy, and he's pretty like monotone, but he's a pretty funny dude, and I think he does have charisma there. But it was just it was cool. Like I guess like they tell a story. I think they tell later on in the tag match, but did Candido have his ear ripped off or something? Like they talked about
that was like the story, but I didn't go to like look it up or fact check what he was talking about. That like maybe he had like a dislocated ear or something. I don't know. I didn't look up that injury, but
because Candido had the headgear on, and he actually did the Rick Steiner thing when he came out. He went,
very Rick Steiner,
he shows, really good match. Lance Storm is I think I feel like it's still underrated. I think he's one of the better I've seen, to be honest. I think more people need to be talking about that guy. So it's really good match. And I feel like it would stand out more if it wasn't maybe if the Jerry Lynn Justin Credible match wasn't on the card, I guess, because it was just very similar. But it's still a very good match, and like the blonde bombshell's a good finishing move. And look, we say a lot about Tammy Sitch, and you can say a lot about her. She's got charisma. She was good on the microphone. She's charismatic. So it's just a shame that sort of demons are getting her. But I think she's good here.
Yeah, JPO.
Yeah, nothing too crazy or different ad from you guys here. Happy to see this on the card. I knew it would be pretty decent here. I've become to be a pretty big Candido fan here. There's a moment in my life where I just kind of knew him as Skip. But then, looking back more in recent years, in this WCW work and seeing the guy, he was really good here. Like you said, the only thing is, from a booking perspective, I thought it was kind of weird that, again, it's kind of two really good wrestlers going at it with some interference and a really cool top rope finisher culture, but still, it was just kind of weird that like there's a lot of blended elements between this and the first match. But again, as you guys said, it's still a good match, so I can't really hate it because it's good stuff. So you know, I mean, it's kind of like an unnecessary sequel in a way, but it's still good. It's totally straightforward.
Both these guys were really, really shredded, by the way. Chris Candido was super shredded in this match. He looked amazing.
Was Lance Storm the babyface, supposedly? Because he was getting
I don't know
booed,
who the babyface was supposed to be in this match. That was another weird thing, because I don't know if Lance
Storm?
I-ish?
He was getting booed.
She did less.
Yeah, I don't know. Because, he didn't – I don't think he went full heel until he started teaming with Credible as the Impact Players about a year later. But, he was in that tweener phase because – 97, he still had the rat tail and was kind of just a, dude. So, I think they were still trying to figure out what to do with him, but he was a good wrestler. We transitioned to a segment with New Jack in the parking lot kind of before the show, and he's cutting a promo, and Jack Victory shows up, who he was supposed to have a weapons match with, but they kind of get into this big brawl, and a lot of the Jack Victory and the Dudleys kind of jump New Jack, throw him into a car, kind of bust him open, and there's a big skirmish, and it's kind of announced that their match will not be happening now.
Do they just do things to avoid having New Jack wrestle a normal match?
Pretty much, because he didn't do a ton of actual matches. Although it's funny, you can go watch him versus Mike Awesome from TNN. That's online. They had a match. That's a very strange one. But most of the time, if he even had a match, it was just against like the Baldies or whoever, just like it was.
I was wondering what the backstory of this is. You know what I mean?
He always just had a feud with like Jack Victory or the.
Well, I meant more. What's the backstory of the canceling it? Is someone hurt? Time wise?
I think they just pivoted to maybe just have him run out and just clean house at the end. I don't know. Just maybe they ran out of time. I don't know. Maybe it's a time thing. Who knows? They want to get more time to do their matches. I don't know. I couldn't find anything as far as why, but it was scheduled to be a match and it just wasn't. So I don't know. Maybe it was a day of decision. But he was still on the show, as we'll see later. We transitioned to an RVD Sabu Bill Alfonso promo. The story of the promo was basically that RVD was just promoting himself the whole time and forgetting that Sabu was there. Sabu getting pissed off at him that he kept going. People came to see me, Rob Van Dam. Oh yeah, and you, Sabu. The tag team champion, me and you, Sabu. That sort of thing. And then every now and then, Bill Alfonso would just scream right into the camera at full volume, really, really loud, and just damn near blow my speakers out. So as JPO loves so much for him to just yell at the camera.
It almost reminded me, not to a lesser extent, like when that they tried to do that thing when Brett and Owen were feuding, and then they tried to be a tag team, and he was like, "It's going to be a good year for the Rocket, and Bret Hart will be here too."
Yeah, it was very similar to that.
I gotta say this too about the notes I have here. Okay, either calm down with that zoom button, or if they're just moving, oh my god, is that annoying for the first couple minutes? We get it. Calm your shit, cameraman.
That's an ECW signature for backstage promos, as they would just kind of zoom in and out and move the stuff around.
But I mean, calm down, stop it. Too much. Yeah.
It depended on who was doing the promo. They did it for Alfonso stuff's promo back and forth. But if you go back to the Mick Foley promos, he would stop that shit and just be like, no, just put the fucking camera on me and let me talk. Yeah. You know what I mean? Let me do my thing. So, it depended on
I don't think it necessarily fit these guys. Yeah. Not RVD. Maybe Alfonso when he talks, maybe, but I don't the nonstop. That's the only note I have on the promos. Fucking calm with your zoom.
Yeah. So we went from that to maybe the match of the show, as most people would say. Two guys who had a hell of a lot of matches, but goddamn were they all bangers every time they got in the ring. Mike Awesome versus Masato Tanaka here at Heatwave 98, kind of when both guys were still really kind of coming into the company and still making a name for themselves. I have a ton of these FMW DVDs, original still, from when these guys have been feuding since 96 or 97, when Mike Awesome was the Gladiator. These guys, every one of their matches is kind of a variation on their other matches, depending on, they would change the finisher here and there, maybe a order of things here and there, but kind of a lot of the same spots. But it didn't matter because it was always brutal and awesome and crazy. These guys got in there. You can tell they just have a lot of chemistry. They hardly ever screw up anything. Everything looks really crisp and clean. Awesome's jumping all over the place, diving over the ropes, diving off the ropes. Match kind of picks up when He sends Tanaka to the outside, and with ease, Mike Awesome jumps up on the top rope, poses on the top rope before leaping into the third row. It looked pretty amazing. I'll say that. He did it better than most cruiserweights. It was kind of nuts. But yeah, he did that. That's kind of what it turned up. Tons of chair shots, top rope chair shots. Tanaka did a running thing where he ran all the way down the entire length of the rampway and hit Awesome with a chair at the end. That was fun. Dented a chair there. And then, there was an absolutely disgusting Awesome bomb over the ropes. But this time it was Tanaka giving Awesome the Awesome bomb over the ropes, and Mike Awesome landing right on top of his head on the table. It was gross. We'll talk about it. And then the finish of this one was again kind of one of their various 4 or 5 finishers depending on the match. It was the tornado DDT on the steel chairs for Tanaka after a roaring elbow, and that was the finish. So a crazy match. Richie, we'll start with you.
Yeah, no, this was a crazy match. I've seen a few of their matches, and this was crazy. As I mentioned before, usually Mike Awesome gets the better of him, but this time it was Tanaka. That Awesome bomb was he barely got the table. He caught most of the concrete right on his head, and then and then he hits the and then when he hit the rolling elbow, I noticed that I think. Awesome had like this big welt on his leg, like this big gray, like this big purple welt on his leg. And, oh shit! And then it was insane. And I think it really, because it was probably like you said, it was early on in their careers, and so the crowd weren't too familiar with these guys. So that but by the end of it, the crowd really into it, and I think it really got both these guys really over. I think Paul Heyman was one of the only people who really knew what to do with Mike Awesome. WWE had him for a bit and didn't do jack shit with him. I thought maybe Vince would see him as like a gold mine.
Yeah, he was 6'6", 320. He can fly around, big dude.
But I don't know. He barely did anything, and then WCW made him like the '80s guy and the fat chick Thriller. I was like, okay, and then and it was like, this is where you're like, man, this guy could be like this huge star, and he just unfortunately it didn't work out that way. But he was really impressed in this match, and had great chemistry. And I think Masato is still going. I think he won the DDT, the title of DDT a few times. So has a lot of people. This was insane. But great match. Probably one of I would say if not the best match tonight, definitely the top 2, but probably the best match. I have to think about it. But phenomenal match.
Yeah, JPO.
I don't know if this is one of the ones I had seen, so this was kind of cool to see. There's the reason they had multiple matches here. Sadly, Awesome's last match was that one night stand rematch with Tanaka. That would end up being his last match here. I was just kind of looking up Awesome as far as WWE goes. Yeah, he didn't even after that Invasion run, like he literally wrestled on Velocity, and that was it. Like not even a SmackDown match. I thought it was kind of interesting too. They never really got kind of too much of a look at up there. I don't really have too much to add other than this was good. There's a reason why these two fought so many times, and like you said, kind of an introductory match here too. They even mentioned how he's Awesome as Gladiator on commentary, from FMW. So good one.
Yeah, Jacob, have you seen many of these guys' matches? Maybe other than the one night stand match that a lot of people have seen.
I've seen a couple, this one was awesome. Hard hitting, some really brutal spots, and probably one of the better matches on this card.
Yeah, totally. I think me and Richie agree that November to Remember '99 match is probably my favorite one they ever had. That was on the Extreme Evolution DVD, and it was that one. That one was actually for the world title when Mike Awesome was champion. But that's the one where he does the sit out Awesome bomb from the apron down through the to the floor. That match is great. But that's my favorite of theirs. I just think it clicks the most. And then the One Night Stand match is awesome, but it's literally just like an 8-minute fast-paced greatest hits match.
Yeah, it's not even 10 minutes. Yeah, I just looked.
Yeah, it's like literally like we got 8 minutes. Let's do all of our spots as quickly as possible.
Which is very apropos. Like same thing with like that happened with Jericho and Lance Storm. There's a fun story of like
all our greatest hits of 7 minutes.
No, Lance Storm tells a story about how like originally like you got 20 minutes to be the greatest ECW opener. You got 15, you guys still kill it. You got 12 as they're going through the current under 10. You know, like shit.
I think that happened with also happened with like Benoit and Eddie. They had their worst match on like
Eddie looked pissed off the entire match. He looked angry. Yeah, the whole thing.
Maybe they were cut too. Yeah, that one.
We'll have to go just do a review of that show too, match by match, and talk about all the stories behind everything and whatever we can scrape up like at some point. Because I remember we rented that or bought that pay-per-view when it aired live, so that was good stuff. All right, we had a quick Dudley Boys promo. Same thing, JP. You were talking about a lot of zooming in and out and all over the place and big, big dick, posing, and Bubba kind of doing his southern drawl gimmick. He was past the stuttering thing at this point, but
I was happy to know that. I wasn't sure when that stopped. I wasn't sure if ECW ever
stopped at that point.
He was past it, and then somehow the affliction came back in '99 when he debuted in WWE.
Yeah,
he got shy again.
He got shy again.
He was nervous.
He regressed.
He got his tick. But yeah, we get to a match of a tag team I drafted in our ECW thing. We have Hayabusa and Jinsei Shinzaki taking on RVD and Sabu, the tag team champions at the time. Shinzaki was Hakushi and WWF for a little while. Yeah, he's the guy who had all the crazy tattoos literally all over the place, all over his face.
Still looks like the same Hakushi too.
Yeah, he looks great. He works great. He does this top rope walk that's kind of nuts, where he literally almost walks the entire length of the ring on the ropes, and it's pretty great. I thought it was a little spotty at first. The first couple of minutes, I think they were kind of still feeling each other out. They botched a few things here and there. It's a little sloppy, but the last 5 or 6 minutes of this match was pretty good. They had some cool, interesting spots. There was a spot where there was a bow and arrow, and then I think Hayabusa got hit with a chair while he was in the bow and arrow, something like that. That was a good little spot. Just some decent stuff near the end. Not probably as good as we would sort of hope it would be, but but still decent match, still entertaining. And then there was a kind of double dive through a table finish where RVD and Sabu both did kind of dueling splashes and leg drops through a table and pinned Hayabusa. And
the story was that because they're portraying like RVD is like this glory hog, like this RVD is supposed to be a heel. RVD is glory hog, so he went for the cover and Sabu pushed him off and got the
yeah, right. I think it would lead to kind of them having another like little mini feud eventually once they lost the titles. Still a decent match. I don't think it was the greatest showcase of Hayabusa. I think he's been way better. I have like FMW Best of Hayabusa DVDs where he's pretty great. He had one of his best matches ever. Actually, was ironically with Masato Tanaka that you can find online. Was probably his best match he ever had. You can go look that up. But JPO, what'd you think of this one?
Yeah, and this would too, unfortunately, be the only. I believe this is the only U.S. match of Hayabusa. I'm pretty sure.
Something like that.
I know it's his only ECW match, and it definitely his highest profile, if not the only U.S. match that the guy had before his unfortunate injury. I quite dug it here. Like you said, maybe it's not the 5-star banger that you like maybe think on paper it could be here. But I still thought it was really good. It was kind of good seeing too Shinzaki. I haven't seen much of him outside of WWF. And I remember him Bret Hart had a good match. Other than that, he was just kind of one of those 90s jobbers. That's all I kind of remember him from. So kind of cool seeing him in a longer length match here. I dug it here. I think it's another reason why it adds to the show as being pretty good and noteworthy.
Yeah, Jacob, what do you think of this one?
I didn't like it. I thought there were sloppy moments. I thought some of the moments at the end, towards the end, like Sabu is hitting Shinzaki and Hayabusa's right there, just watching it happen, not doing anything. Like you're just gonna let him hit your. Okay, that makes sense. It seemed sloppy and like it just wasn't holding my attention for whatever reason. I'm sure Rob Van Dam and Sabu both have better matches in ECW. This one, it didn't hit for me.
Okay. No, fair enough. I think there might have been some communication issues too. I don't know how much English Hayabusa actually spoke, and some of those guys. So maybe they planned out a few things, and things just got a little sloppy. But I thought Shinzaki looked pretty good. I thought all of his stuff looked pretty solid. But yeah, Richie.
Yeah, there's a few botches here, but I thought when it hit, I thought like a lot of Hayabusa stuff looked crisp. I thought it was really, I can see why he has got the reputation to be one of the best. And it's just a shame his career ended the way it did. And I thought that looked solid. I really liked it. I really liked the match. Was this before like Rob Van Dam used the 5-star as a finishing move? Because he hit it. He hit it at one point.
So. I think it was before he really started. Like I think he really started hitting it like early '99. Like he started really kind of making it a thing. Yeah,
because he hit the move at one point, and then he just got a 2 count, and it was treated like it was not an issue. It was not important. Mm-hmm. Okay, he just hit his finish. But yeah. No, it was like a solid match here, but I've seen better Hayabusa matches, but it was decent.
I just looked his whole best of FMW DVD called The Flying Assassin is just on YouTube. It's on there. So if you want to see some of his best of from FMW, I would recommend that if you want to see him have some good matches. I think with like I said with Tanaka, with the Great Sasuke, he had really good matches. He was really the first guy to ever do the Phoenix Splash, long before Tyler Black. Seth Rollins ever did it, some of those guys. So, he did some really innovative stuff back in the day. But we'll move on to.
Also, I have to point out, the whistle,
that's annoying.
I have to agree. Like, you do it a couple of times. That's fine.
That's why I didn't draft him. I don't care if I had Rubber Dam. I didn't want him.
Even Joey Styles at one point was like, "I wish Alfonso would just swallow that damn whistle." Just get rid of it. Yeah, you think he was
just so I don't know, man. I know there's heel heat, and then there's just like, okay, now fuck off, please go away.
Yeah, I think you could do it like when they're doing their rest holds and doing their next spots, then start, getting attention on yourself, but just doing it right when they're trying to do stuff is annoying. So we went on to kind of a grudge match with Taz taking on Bam Bam Bigelow. Taz at this point had declared himself the FTW champion and made his own belt, the Fuck the World belt, because Shane Douglas would not give him a proper title match. Shane is rooting for Bam Bam in this one because they're in kind of the triple threat sort of faction at this point together. So, it's a Falls Count Anywhere match. Most of this, I would say 10 minutes out of the 14 or so was outside of the ring around the crowd. Just a lot of crowd brawling. It felt like they brawled for like an hour in the crowd. Honestly, when I was watching this, I was like, okay, can we just like get to it, because they kind of just did a lot. I'm sure it's exciting when you're live, but when you're watching it on a screen, it's like, okay, can we just like get back to some spots? But it did pick up eventually. The last couple minutes is pretty good. They got back to the ring, hit a few big power bombs, a couple of table spots. Taz T-boned him through a half of a table. That was pretty good. And then they did kind of definitely the spot that they were always building up to. It was alluding to their spot where they broke the ring. This time they went through the rampway and broke through the rampway on a sort of a tornado DDT, crashing through the rampway. Crowd ate it up. And then eventually Bam Bam got up, stumbled back to the ring. Taz pops out of the hole, runs up and gives him the Katsu Hajime, the Taz submission, and submits him on the ramp, which I thought was kind of innovative and cool. You don't see many submission victories in a Falls Count Anywhere match, so I kind of dug that. At least they use that to their advantage. But Jacob, we'll start with you. What'd you think of this?
Now, was he tapping or was he reaching for the ropes?
Yeah, that was.
I think he was reaching for the ropes. I don't think he was tapping out. We should get a rematch. I don't know if they did or not. I don't know what the follow-up was, but this is actually a match I had seen before.
I don't think they did, by the way, because Bam Bam was back off the WCW not long after this, so I don't think they actually really got a finality to this feud here. But
but no, I quite enjoyed this one. It was cool to rewatch it. I like the brawling in the crowd. I like the spots. So that ramp spot was really cool, and the crowd was eating it up. And this was like the one time I liked Shane Douglas on commentary because it was like
he was invested.
Go check on him. Well, forget Taz, but check on Bam Bam. And I thought that was really good. And then I quite dug the submission on the ramp. You don't really see that a lot in Falls Count Anywhere matches, so it was really cool. And yeah, it was nice to be able to rewatch this one. I quite enjoy it.
Yeah. Richie, what do you think?
Yeah, no, I dug it. There was times where it's like kind of hard to see because they're in the crowd a lot, but but yeah, no, it was really good. I think I've seen aspects of this match before as well. I mean, I definitely remember the DDT spot, and yeah, it was interesting too because it also like I think the fact that he Bam Bam almost tapped out straight away when he could get that is interesting. But it's also too like if he got the rope, it's like again it's one of those ECW things where would it have mattered because there's no DQ, it's just ECW. But anyway, but like it was really good, and like obviously like Taz mega over. He was one of the most over people in the company. And it was just it was again one of the Bam Bam. I think Paul Heyman used Bam Bam the best, and he's one of the best big men. I think that wrestling's ever had, to be honest. I'm surprised he's still not in the Hall of Fame yet. Hopefully, the next couple of years they finally give him his flowers. So
he was one of the guys that was a kind of a big deal in all three major companies. So I think he should be in the Hall of Fame, absolutely. But JPO, I was thinking of Bam and
no argument here for Hall of Fame too as well. Yes, this would be the final singles match between these two. They did a triple threat and a couple 6-mans. This is like August. He's back in WCW by November. It's actually one of those like he wrestles for ECW like 2 weeks later. He's in WCW, one of those quick turnarounds. It was good. It was good. It's good brawl here. You know what I mean? I love the spot. I've definitely seen that spot. I don't know if I've seen this match. I've seen the other one, but I know I've seen that spot many times here. It still looks kind of cool, man. It's still a memorable moment here, and
the sheer velocity when they actually fall into the ramp is the best part of it because there's kind of a delay, and then all of a sudden it's like zoom right into the ramp. Like they kind of
it's a cool moment, like especially watching it like organically, like before any replays or anything. It was kind of cool. So it's good stuff.
Yeah. So good stuff there leading up to our main event. And I think they sent the Dudleys and Joel Gertner and all those guys to stall for a little bit of time to stretch the pay-per-view a little bit out. They were out there for quite a bit before the main event actually started. But at the same time, it was very entertaining, so I didn't mind it. And this was kind of a Dudley gimmick at this point where they would try to basically start a riot before the matches even started. The most infamous one you can go see is from Heatwave 99, not necessarily 98, where they legitimately almost started a riot, antagonizing the crowd, which is even more than this one. But you have the Dudleys here. You have Devon, Bubba Ray, and Big Dick out there, and they're also accompanied by a gaggle of people, including I guess evil referee Jeff Jones, which I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Evil referee Jeff Jones with a blow-up doll that's supposed to be Beulah McGillis Slutty, as we learned.
Beulah McGillis Slutty,
and he's hanging on to the blow-up doll the whole time. We have Sign Guy Dudley out there, who at one point I appreciated. He had a sign that said stolen gimmick because I think this is around the time Lodi started doing a sign thing in WCW for Ravens.
And at one point I think Joel Gertner he said that said that he also ruptured or bruised his rectum. And then
a deviated septum.
But then Joe Styles said, Joel Gertner probably did that. He said something.
Yeah. No, it was good stuff. Joel Gertner was always great. Hotter than a heat wave and harder than Chinese algebra. Joel, I always leave them sore, yet they keep coming back for more. Gertner. This is when he really started to get over that. He started with the Dudleys, and then eventually, if you go back to 99, 2000 stuff, he would just be open the show with Joey Styles usually and kind of do his shtick at the beginning of the show, and then occasionally did color commentary. But yeah, good stuff here. I like that Bubba Ray's first line of his promo was just, "I hate each and every one of you." I just thought that was a funny opening line and just like getting right to the point. But yeah, they talked for a little while, did their very long introductions. And then we got Tommy Dreamer, Little Spike Dudley, and the Sandman out there for a Dudleyville street fight that started with tags. Again, that shit annoys me when you have a Dudleyville street fight, but we're tagging in and out for the first 6-7 minutes of this match, which annoys me.
Yeah, I that's always annoying whenever they're not the only match where it's like the first half is a normal match, and all of a sudden they realize, wait a minute, we can do whatever. It's like, yeah, that's the name of the match. What the fuck?
Yeah,
I hate matches that do that.
I hate that.
But they come out though, and this is where it was like it's obvious when like WWE like dubbed things because like it's obviously they came out, there's Tommy Dreamer, so they come out to the Alice Cooper thing, and then like with the one I watched anyway, it's like it was just some generic thing, and they mute the crowd. It's kind of it kills the atmosphere. It's like okay, it's I don't know. I understand why they do it, but it mutes the crowd, and anyway.
All those issues aside, once they actually kind of broke it down and stopped doing the tagging nonsense, we started getting into some spots. It reminded me a lot of the one night stand match actually between the Dudleys and Dreamer and Sandman. Because it was they got a ladder involved. Spike Dudley had a pretty great just dive onto everybody from the top of the ladder inside the ring to the outside. Looked really great. Crowd popped for it. There was a couple of sentons. Bubba Ray dropped a senton while Ladder was on top of Dreamer. It looked pretty nasty. Big Dick Dudley hit sort of like the Albert bomb sort of a thing, the choke bomb on the Dreamer.
Yeah, like I think he'd later call it the derailer when he was H.
Here it was called Total Penetration from Big Dick Dudley. So that was fun. There was a spot where all four of the guys were in a tree of woe, and referee Jim Molyneux got in on the action and drop kicked Jeff Jones with the chair in front of him. Yeah, so that was a good little spot there.
I had to do a double take and realize what I was looking at. I'm like, is the referee doing this? Oh, referee getting involved? I'm like, okay, yes, all right.
I think at one point Tommy Dreamer pile drove Sign Guy Dudley. He pile drove the Beulah McGillis slutty doll.
because Sign Guy Dudley tries to go for the pile driver on the Beulah McGillis slutty doll.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, they did that. And then eventually Tommy Dreamer beat Bubba Ray when he DDT'd him on the ladder and pinned him. And then we had Jack Victory run out, hit somebody, I think Tommy, with a guitar, which of course initiated a new Jack run-in with his generic WWE music. But he used to come out to Natural Born Killers, which was awesome. But he came out, obliterated everybody with various weapons, and posed with everybody to kind of end the show. But we'll start with Richie and we'll go around. What did you think overall of this street fight?
I thought it was a good fun. Good fun street fight. I thought everyone went well. It's fun. It is weird that they have tags. Like initially start tags, but I think it's everything you sort of want in mostly what you want in a hardcore match. I feel like Spike doesn't get enough credit for what he did with his size. I think I don't know. I really admire Spike and the guts he had with what he could do, and he was really good in the match. I thought it was quite good. Pretty fun. There's not much else I can really say about it. Crowd went home happy. I think. Not long after this, not long after ECW closed. I think in 2002. I think Big Dick Dudley didn't last long after ECW closed. I think he died in 2002. So
something like that. Yeah, he died kind of suddenly. Yeah, not long after ECW. Yeah.
So but he looked alright, and everyone was entertaining. yeah. So this was it's a lot of fun. Yeah. So yeah, probably the third best match on the night or something.
Yeah. JPO, what'd you think of this street fight?
Yeah, well, a couple things too I want to say about the show. I do enjoy, I know we're talking about the music being dubbed, but at least they kept the curse words. There's no edits on that whole fucking show. Cut my fucking music and even the chants. Francine getting some interesting chants to start off the show. So I give kudos to the network / Peacock hasn't killed that yet. And also kudos to ECW too, man. Like I have it actually playing again in the background here. Like what a nice house too. Like this is a nice sized arena. For again, what is the third company here? Like, good for them for.
Well, we were talking a little bit about that at the beginning. As far as ECW didn't overstep their bounds, they would always book these sort of 3,000 or 4,000 seat venues, but always like pack them out so it looked good on camera. But they didn't try to do like the 10,000 seat arenas or anything like that.
But it's impressive, man. I mean, there's two stories here. Like you said, it's in the thousands. Like it looks good. A fun way. You are handicapped in the sense that you don't have Shane Douglas to this show, but you have a nice kind of. They also did a good job, I think, building to this match on this pay-per-view here. Somebody that obviously didn't watch whatever it was, hardcore TV building up. They sold me on this match by the time I got to it too, which I want to give them credit to. You know what I mean? There was backstage promos from the teams and whatnot, and from the Dudleys earlier, and the Brawl kind of setting up the New Jack return. So they did a good job actually kind of getting you invested in this 6-man kind of main event here. Like I said, weird that they started off pretty normal, and then it boils down to kind of what you figured it's going to boil down to here. A New Jack comes out, and it's fun. It's very, very ECW here. If you almost want to show like an ECW starter pack, this might be a good, a good starter pack set of matches. So it was a fun match.
Yeah, Jacob, what did you think about this main event?
Yeah, I'm basically the same. This was fun. When it finally became a street fight, it really picked up for me, and I enjoyed all the spots. The running, I mean, you kind of saw it coming, but the crowd still was like they were there for it. The crowd was good. It was a good crowd, and so they really.
Good old, was it Ohio? Where are they?
Dayton, Ohio.
Yeah.
And as Dreamer said at the end, Dayton, Ohio might be ECW country. So no, good stuff overall. Only one match on the card that I didn't like, but for the most part, I enjoyed all these matches, and good show.
Well, do you want to kick us off then, as far as score out of 10 for the whole Heatwave '98 as a whole, Jacob? What do you think?
I'd probably go 8.
Okay. Yeah,
Richard. 8 out of 10.
Yeah. I like the contrast to at the start of the match where like Sandman's on the thing, doing his shtick and spelling the beer, but then you got Spike like gently sipping it.
And kind of just like sort of half tapping it on his head, just kind of half imitating.
Yeah, again, shout out to Spike too, another guy that when you watch him, man, he's entertaining. Well. He's really like you can see why, like he was,
And my God, would he just kill himself in these matches half the time? They would just throw him literally right all over the
power
place.
bombing him,
huge backdrops, just throwing him, beeling him all over the place. Just nutty stuff. All of his matches were like that. Like I said, go and watch. It's only like 10 minutes. Mike Awesome versus Spike Dudley. Mike Awesome kills him through like 9 tables in that match. It's insane. Like it's one of the biggest, craziest like David versus Goliath matches ever. Yeah, for sure. But Richie, would you?
Also, quickly, the other thing I thought I mentioned after the Taz one, where after like Taz one, when Shane Douglas just chucks a monitor, like just breaks a monitor, just throws him off the stage. I'm like, Jesus Christ, okay, you might get in trouble for that, but anyway. I really like the show. Yeah, I feel like top to bottom, just the matches are probably you'd be hard pressed to find a better the best matches. But I would probably I'll give it a 9.
Okay. Yeah, JPO, what would you give it overall?
I'll be the meat in the Jacob Richie sandwich, 8.5.
And I was going to go the exact same thing, so he stole my gimmick. Yeah, I give it like a solid 8.5. Again,
I'm the ham, he's the salami.
This is kind of widely considered one of the most even ECW pay-per-views they ever did, as far as all the matches at least being entertaining and solid
Yeah.
for the most part.
Yeah, I don't think there's a dud on here, man. Like, and it's
Yeah.
only 6 matches. Kind of reminds me almost in a weird way of the more recent WWE ones, where like,
Yeah.
it's all kind of filler. No, there's no filler. Rather, it's all kind of thriller.
Yeah, and later on, some of the pay-per-views would have kind of better matches, but they would have filler with like Simon Diamond or Nova or something. They would have a little bit more later on as the roster got a little bit bigger.
They would have matches where okay, this is just there so New Jack will come out.
Right, yeah. This is just here so that 5 minutes later, New Jack can come out and kill everybody. Yeah, they would definitely do that later. Again, not to say it's not entertaining, but yeah, there will be matches like that on other shows. So, I'd also go kind of an 8.5 out of 10. But yeah, good show overall. I recommend it. So yeah, why don't we? That'll kind of do it for tonight, and we'll kind of start wrapping things up here. We'll go around, maybe get some plugs out of the way, and like I said, next week. I will be on vacation, but you guys might have a guest star, maybe somebody else popping in for me on the panel. And I know, if you guys want to do your cards on ECW and Syfy to do that, and I'm sure y'all will discuss what era of NXT you want to do a draft for. Because that's definitely.
And I'm forcing you, Pez. Send me your card. I want your card.
All right, fine. I'll send you one. You can write it down real quick. I'll make it before I leave, and I'll send it to you, and you can read it out for me. Sounds good. All right, Jacob, anything to plug, sir, as we wrap things up?
No, I really don't have much else going on this week. Austin and I, this past Saturday, did a podcast about movies where we did a blind ranking. I blind ranked animated movies that he put on a wheel. He blind ranked horror movies that I put on a wheel. It was a lot of fun. Go check it out to see what our list turned out to be. Mm-hmm. And then, we'll be back with that in a couple weeks.
Yeah, sounds good. Richie, anything going on? What do you got?
Yeah, I will. Yeah, on tournament fights. I think the next one I'm on is best movies set in winter.
Mm-hmm.
Jacob, when is it? Okay, Jacob is
tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
Yes.
Yeah, that's right. I know stuff. Cool. So I'll be on that. So and then I'm always pop. Yeah, I'm always pop up on trivia on Jordan's channel doing movie trivia and wrestling trivia. I'm also doing combat wrestling trivia. Doing stuff there. I got my own podcast with my friend Robert Cameron doing Tubi movies. We just uploaded Frankenhooker one, so that should be interesting. That was really fun to do. So, and it's actually just a genuinely fun movie. I don't know. I just genuinely had fun with it. The next episode we're going to be filming tomorrow, Atlantic Rim. So,
oh my god, the infamous Atlantic Rim. Yeah, there you go.
Atlantic Rim,
yeah.
And bit of a trivia. They've already made or making a Asylum have already making a parody of Cocaine Bear. I believe it's called Meth
Gator. Yeah,
Meth Gator. I'm like, man, they don't fuck around.
I'm in.
Mm-hmm.
They don't fuck around. So check out for that. So yeah, other than that, yeah.
Cool. Sounds good. JPO, what do you got going on?
Yes, over at the Purist Code channel, we're still continuing some trivia here, both melees as well as the 2023 tournament is continuing as well here. Also some countdowns. Pez was on, speaking of Cocaine Bear, on my recent countdown of Animal Attacks. Oh, hey, kitty. And then my animal attacked me. And then over at the Purist Wrestling channel, we're doing some wrestling trivia matches, stuff like that, popping up here. Tier ranker last night. We had some fun. Yada yada. Bing bang. Walla bing bang.
Yeah. And I don't have anything to plug because I'll be on vacation next week, so I got nothing going on. I'll be gambling in Las Vegas, and probably I'll be going to the desert, and it's going to be snowing. That'll be fun. All right, so Arizona, it's going to be snowing when I get there. Sounds good. Just my luck. Nothing else going on. I don't have the controls, but Jake is going to take us out, of course, with his usual.
We missed it last week, Jacob. The show just ain't the same without it.
But we don't think the oxygen goes over the ice. Yeah, we don't think the oxygen goes over the ice.
So be good people.
Or don't. We can't